Gotcha.
Just talk about how well Dalton is playing.
He's done a nice job. The biggest thing he's done is just be consistent. Going back to last year, biggest thing he's just consistently gotten better with some of the things that we've been trying to be intentional with. His development has been pretty good. Like where we're at with him. He still has some ways to go to be the complete player that we want him to be, the complete player that he wants to be. But he's on the right track.
You know as good as he is after the catch?
Come-
Did you know he was good as he is after the catch? He certainly.
Talking about the rack. It's something that we drill every day in terms of getting yards after catch, becoming a runner. I do think that rack for a lot of guys is a learned trait. So you got to really work at it and be intentional with your work with it. And he's done a nice job of that in terms of with his rack. So we've been pleased with that of his game, that part of his game. Just because, again, you naturally don't run with the ball in your hand. So developing that trait in terms of running with the ball in your hand and make sure you still have good ball security and be a natural runner, make guys miss and stuff like that. I think that is for that position is something that you really got to emphasize and really got to train.
Blocking. Conversation tight ends have about improving their blocking. How's that?
In terms of our room, and it's one thing that I've always looked at this position, it's a very unique position that has impact on all three phases of offensive play: run blocking, pass protection, and route running in the pass game. So it's one of the phases in your game that you really got to work at. Like we talk about in that room. When it comes down to blocking, you got to be like offensive linemen. You got to train like offensive linemen. Those guys have done a heck of a job being intentional with their work and really absorbing what we're trying to get done as a blocker in the run game, because we're very critical to the success of the run game in this offense.
Bill Belichick made sure to keep one of emphasis on Sunday. What kind of a testament is that to the level that he's playing at right now?
Say it one more time.
Bill Belichick made
Oh.
to keep one of emphasis on Dalton's score.
He's had production, and anytime you have production, you're going to catch some people's eyes. And so that's a good thing in terms of him having production and stepping up to the plate when his name has been called. Belichick talking about him, which is good. It allows some other guys to make some plays too. So that's a good thing.
You got two young tight ends, Keelan and Sprinkle. How are they developing?
They've been going well. They've been going well. Talking about Sean. Sean had the setback with the injury. I thought he was on track to really be right in the thick of things and really help this team and help that room. So he's battling, getting back in football shape and getting back on the grass last week. So that's a plus. Sprinkle's made tremendous strides as a blocker and made tremendous strides in his route running in practice. And I think Sprinkle's value has been tremendous because we've set a role for him. And he's really been intentional in terms of maximizing his opportunity in his role.
When you're in a series where Dalton's moving the ball down the field, Blake's getting the touchdown, what's going through your mind, or what's that film review like the next day?
Really, it's just the flow of the game, and we talk about in our room, no matter who's in the game, the product has to look the same or better. So, I always tell those guys, hey, I can close my eyes and just reach back, and whoever I pull to go in the game, we expect a certain standard. So in terms of, Dalton making a catch and then BJ making a catch, I think that's just kind of how we want to train in that room in terms of no matter who's on the field, the product looks the same or better.
Why is the two tight end set so important for you guys? Just that's a fun offense.
To me, two tight ends, right, give you a whole lot of variety in terms of what you can do offensively. I really believe that two tight end sets puts a strain on the defense coordinator, makes him really have to work his call sheet, and he just can't play for the pass. You can run the ball in two tight end sets. You can spread them out and pass it. You just have so much flexibility as a play caller with Kellen, with being in two tight end sets, in my opinion.
You said it was key on the game winner. I mean, they jumped Dalton on the defense.
Yeah.
Would open this thing up.
Yeah.
So because of what Dalton's done, people are wary of him. And
Right.
it opens things up for CD.
Yeah. I mean, and like I say, when you prepare and you produce, that allows other people to get opportunities to produce. Again, CD and Amari and all those guys have been producing for a long time. And, they start doubling them, then now it opens up us. And then now when they open up us, we got to nail it. We got to nail the production, which in turn, then now they want to double us. Then now, hey, go back to other guys. So that's the signs of just a good offense, guys really complementing each other within the offense.
What type of learner is Dalton? Like, how much does he get into the weeds of this thing? Really want to be one of the better tight ends?
His learning is really good. Really all those guys in that room, learning is exceptional. Those guys do a heck of a job during the week preparing in the meetings. They do a great job with the different projects that I give those guys during the week to prepare not only Dalton but Blake, Sprinkle, Sean, and Ian. All those guys have a piece in terms of their preparation for the game, and so their learning is excellent.
What are those projects? What do you kind of give them? Just like little tests or something?
No, it's more studies. They all have certain situations to study and detail it out, and then present it to the tight end room on Friday, and it really shows those guys the way to prepare the right way. And then by the time Friday comes along, they're talking about. It's their meeting. They run the meeting. They're talking amongst each other, and they're talking about how our scheme fits against against the opponent's scheme, and it really is like confirmation to me that okay, they got it. They got the plan. They're ready to go play.
Have you always done your meetings like that, and why is it important to you to empower your players like that?
Something I started last year, and again, it's just trying to develop their football IQ. Because you're talking about the football IQ, you talk about knowing what the defense does, then you talk about what we're going to do schematically, and then application of our schemes against the defense. So it really allows them to really hit all three forms of the football IQ, so that they're prepared. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly how to execute it. And then now it's just all about going out and producing and getting it done on Sunday.
This isn't really about any of your guys specifically, but just in general, in recent years, it just seems like college programs treat their tight ends in a lot of cases as like a big slot.
Yeah,
and I guess what's the challenge of adapting a college tight end to the NFL game and the intricacies that maybe they don't see in college?
Again, that's a great question and great point. It's challenging, but it's possible. I think when you get a young guy in, every guy that comes into your building has a redeeming quality. And my take on that is, hey, we want to perfect your redeeming quality, but within that, they might have some deficiencies. It might be something fundamentally. It might be something that they haven't learned because of where they was at playing big slot. So when they come in, you just got to really hone in on their deficiencies and really be intentional in terms of working with those guys with that. So it's challenging, but it's not impossible.
Is it too simplistic to say, like, hey, I'm not going to turn you into a mauler, but these are ways you can get better at maybe like your blocking aspects or that type of thing?
Yeah, in terms of blocking, I never looked, even when I coached O-line, I never looked at it as being a mauler. I look at blocking as being a technician. Because you're gonna go against some guys that's bigger than you. You're gonna go against some guys that's smaller than you. But your technique has to be on it. You got to nail the technique. And so, in terms of blocking wise, to me it's all about fundamentals. It's all about fundamentals, and you got to be intentional in terms of how you work it, how you drill it, and how you demand it.
How noticeable is the difference in Blake and Dalton and how they've improved in that area of their game since you got here?
They've done a nice job. They've done a really good job. Set the foundation in terms of, hey, this is how we block. This is the different techniques. They've done a nice job really trying to work it and get better at it. But what's most important is they've kind of evolved and kind of made some of it their own and make it better. Because I always try to challenge those guys. Hey, here's the foundation for you, but I want you guys to come and make it better. If it's a way to make it better, you guys make it better. And they've done that with some of the little techniques that we try to incorporate in the run game.
What's Kellen like as a Boston? How has he evolved from last year to this year?
Who's that?
What's Kellen more like?
Oh, yeah, Kellen's great, man. Kellen's calm, cool, and collected. He's the 3 C's. He's a perfect example of the 3 C's: calm, cool, and collected. He stays in neutral, bright mind. He does an excellent job of putting the guys in a position to be successful. He calls the game just smooth. You know, he's very smooth with his play calling, and he's really good. He's really,
Seem different as a play caller this year than last year?
nah, I think you know Kellen just he's calling it. He's calling how he's always called it. I think you know like we say in our room, hey, Kellen calls it and we'll haul it. I think the guys are hauling it a little bit better this year in terms of you know executing. So.
From last year to this year, where do you see Schultz going to go in his role?
You know, I think the biggest thing, the more you play in the pass game, the more you have a good feel for in terms of how our routes, how our concept fits against certain schemes. And I think this year that's showing up a whole lot more. This year, he really understands how our concepts fit against particular pass coverages that the defense has given us, and he's doing a nice job of finding nice spots and zones and then even in man, he's gotten better in terms of with his releases, you know, getting on edges on guys and playing with speed and playing decisive. Yeah, living legend.
And those young guys had to wait.
Yeah.
You look back on it and you said that was good for them to wait. Hear what he had to say about it. Now he come in and now they got your knowledge. Was it good for them, as I said, to wait a while before now you're seeing what they can do?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak and say if it's good to wait. Obviously, you know, learning from Jason was a big important part for them. You know, one of the things that we like to do here now is, you know, in my mind, you don't wait. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to prepare to go play. You know, and as a coach, you know, you have to be extra intentional with the back end guys, right? Because again, if they have to go play, the product has to look the same or better. And so everybody getting reps. I tell them every day, everybody's working today. You know, so everybody. I mean, if it's if you look at practice, hey, I'm gonna coach a scout team rep just as hard as I coach our normal game reps, so that those back end guys get ready to play. So, you know, those guys have done well. They've done well.
I know y'all are so focused on what your players are doing, but where have you grown as a coach the last couple of years, and how do you enjoy coaching tight ends versus?
In terms of growth for myself, you know, I've grown and my vision has become more broader, you know, versus narrow. You know, when you're in an O-line room, it's kind of you just locked in on that. So I kind of see the bigger picture now, schematically. I still lean back on my O-line background in terms of the fine details, you know, because you got to detail it. In my mind, you got to detail out everything, you know, and you got to be very intentional and consistent with how you're teaching the guys. So. Those guys have helped me grow. You know, I tell those guys all the time, hey, you guys are my crutch, I'm your crutch. You know, we both depend on each other. We work. This is a working relationship. You know, and it's not a dictatorship. It's a working relationship. We're gonna make each other better, and so those guys have done a nice job helping make me better, and hopefully, in their mind, I help make them better. So we win. You know, because. That's the biggest thing. We got to play well to win. You know, we got to play well to win, and that's very important to the Cowboys' success is us playing well and consistent. So, you good? All right, cool. All right, appreciate it. All right, no doubt.